What's up, sports bettors? It's a little sad that it's already week 3 of the NFL, but that's where we are. And again, you can browse odds completely for free on OddsJam, whatever game you want to bet on. So Lions plus 265, that jumps out to me a little bit. I kind of like it after what they did last week, but that's not the play I have in this video. We're actually going to be looking at the Patriots game. So the game I have a bet on, which I really like, is in the Patriots-Ravens game. So let's go ahead and let's head over to that. You can see the Ravens are, best offered at minus 150 on DraftKings, which actually seems a little decent if you're looking for a spot to bet on the DraftKings. You're not getting a terrible price. As a sharp bettor, someone who bets on sports full-time for a living, like myself, you really have to be price conscious, right? You have to make sure you're not getting ripped off and getting terrible prices. So even if, the Betfair exchange, for example, which is a peer-to-peer betting exchange, so a very good source of information, even if this sportsbook or exchange isn't in your location, you should still be looking at the odds to get a sense of where other people are betting on the Ravens, right? It's just kind of rational. If you're placing bets on the Ravens at minus 165 or minus 175, even worse, when there's people betting it minus 150, minus 150, minus 156 on, Betfair, DraftKings, and come on, you're screwed, right? You're just getting ripped off, and you're never going to make money sports betting. It's already hard to make money sports betting, and then if you're getting terrible prices on top of that, there's definitely no way you're going to make money sports betting. So the point spread in this game is currently set at 3. As you can see, most sportsbooks have minus 110 juice for Ravens minus 3. Some sportsbooks like Fox Bet and FanDuel, they have Ravens minus 3 juiced towards Ravens minus 3, not Patriots plus 3. So again, as a sharp bettor, this is super important to kind of, understand is most sportsbooks offer minus 110 juice, right? Ravens minus 3 is minus 110. Patriots minus 3 is minus 110. So if you go to a odds converter calculator, what you can do is put in minus 110, and this calculator will tell you, hey, given the odds you're betting at, this is how often you need to win that bet to break even, right? This is your break even win probability. So what this means, and it's probably a number you may have heard before, is if you're winning on spreads or totals, in other words, if you're betting at minus 110 juice and you're winning 52.4% of your bets or more, you're making money in the long run, right? So, pros, sharp bettors, people who bet on sports full-time for a living like myself, they're looking to win on point spreads totals 55% of the time. 56%, right? Maybe even 57 when betting at minus 110 juice. So if you think about it as well, for an over-under, over-under 42.5, the game either goes over or it goes under, right? So only one of these bets is going to hit, over 42.5 or under 42.5. And what's pretty fascinating is you could literally blindly bet over or under for every game is you're going to hit 50%, right? You literally can't be worse than 50% in the long run because, the game always goes over or under. One team always covers the spread unless there's a push, but a push doesn't really matter because you get your money back. So basically blindly betting, you're winning 50% of the time, which is how the sportsbook makes money, right? The average person who doesn't have an advantage is winning on spreads and totals 50% of the time, not 52.4, so the sportsbook makes money off them in the long run, right? Sharps, pros, win 55% of the time, so they make money off sportsbook in the long run because they're winning more than the break-even win probability. So that's kind of important to understand. And it's also why, line shopping is so important. Any game, anything you want to browse on OddsJam is free. Player props, money lines, point spreads, race to 10 points, third quarter totals. It doesn't matter, right? Especially when you're betting. When you're betting at minus 110 juice, getting slightly more advantageous odds or being able to, let's say you want to take the under in this game, buying up a point and taking it minus 114 as opposed to getting it at minus 110 for under 42.5, when your bet is winning if there's exactly 43 points in the game and everyone else's bet is losing. Like, that's how you make money sports betting, right? That's what takes you from winning on spreads and totals 50% of the time to 55% of the time. That's how the pros do it. That's how the sharps do it. You have to be looking for value and squeaking out these spots where you're actually getting value as a sports bettor. So where's the value right now, right? That's what we're always looking for. And essentially what the EV tool does on OddsJam, the positive EV tool, my favorite tool, is what this positive EV tool does is it kind of like scans the markets, all the odds across sportsbooks to find out those few rare betting opportunities where sportsbooks are slipping up. So usually there's, millions of odds on sportsbooks, right? For the NFL alone, you can see right here, this is probably like a few hundred odds. And then you have that for every game. And this is just main markets. Once you include player props and stuff, there's millions of odds on sportsbooks at any given time. And what OddsJam does is it scans those lines in real time for the rare opportunities, which you can see right now in my location, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's only 7 bets that are mathematically profitable. The first one, was some tennis bet that I just hit out. Over 22.5 games in Alexei Popyrin versus James Duckworth. So that bet I just hit, which you can see right here. So if we copy this guy's name, we can take a look at why do we like this bet. So we can go here and we can go here. So we bet over 22.5 games, which was a positive EV play, right? Most sportsbooks have the total games market at 23.5. So we're squeaking out value, right? This is how the sharps do it. This is how the pros do it. We bet this minus 125. You can see DraftKings pricing it at minus 160, FanDuel minus 160, Pinnacle, the sharpest bookmaker in the world, they're pricing this at minus 148. So very clear value, being able to get it at minus 125, which is why this bet has a mathematical edge, right? It's why sports betting is so fascinating. All these bookmakers price things independently. You can see the odds are different across sportsbooks, across the betting market. So you can ruthlessly compare lines on sportsbooks and find spots where sportsbooks are slipping up, right? That's how the sharps do it. That's how the pros do it. That's how you make money in the long run. You look for spots where you're actually getting mathematical value and a mathematical edge. It's not about winning every bet or picking winners. It's about winning in the long run. So line shopping and getting the best line is like step one. Actually finding value in the odds, like minus 125 we picked up here, when Pinnacle, the sharpest sportsbook, is at minus 148. That's like how you really start to make the big bucks. So anyways, the play I have is under 20.5 points, first half total in Patriots Ravens. So again, Ravens are favored on the money line, like minus 150. They're minus 3 point spread favorites. This is the first positive EV NFL bet I have for week 3. It's mathematically profitable. Look at the odds. No other bookmaker giving us above plus 102. Right? This bet is a locked market, a 0% low hold with DraftKings. So like by definition, either this minus 110 or this plus 110 has to move. It's a locked market. There's no vig in this market. You can bet minus 110 or plus 110. Like there's zero hold in this market. If you go to a hold calculator and you put in minus 110 on the over 20.5, under 20.5 is plus 110 on FanDuel. The hold is 0%, right? So it's a pick 'em market, right? You could bet on DraftKings and on FanDuel and have no loss of value. You can go through the math yourself. Imagine you put $110 on the over 20.5 on DraftKings, minus 110, and you bet the under 20.5 for $100 on FanDuel. You can't lose money, right? One bet's going to win, one bet's going to lose every time. These are equal and opposite outcomes. Now it's very clear the pricing discrepancy here is on FanDuel, right? Which is why this bet is positive EV. So basically with positive EV betting, right, what I recommend is just keep these filters on and place as many bets as you can, right? Like you can see on FanDuel, I hit this bet for $225. On Caesars, I have a bunch of different bets, some for tonight, some soccer bets, right? We got some soccer bets. We got some parlays in the mix. We got a ton of different stuff. Some UFC. is like I'm always looking for bets with an edge, and then you try to place as many as possible. You know, my recommendation is get to like 500, see if you're up money, you're going to be up money, right? You're not going to win every bet, but over a large sample size of bets, when you have the edge as a sports bettor, you make money in the long run, right? So I ended up betting this for 225 bucks. Again, you can feel free to follow along with all my YouTube plays. We're up 2.3K currently, just based on the plays I've currently given out. Hopefully we can keep that going. So the next one I'm adding is Pats Ravens, you know, first half under 20.5, not 22.5. So I apologize. And then this was 225 bucks at plus 110 odds, right? A mathematically profitable bet where we're getting value, right? Very clear value at plus 110 to the rest of the betting market, which is exactly what we're looking for. Spots where we're beating the vig, beating the juice, and just getting ridiculous value. So I love that plus 110, locked it in. And again, like, it's a volume game. You know, if your average bet has like a 1.5% profit margin, let's say your bet size is $100, so you bet $100 on everything, and you want to make 1,200 bucks a month, you got to place 28 bets a day. So kind of the levers you have to make more money sports betting are, one, you know, increase the amount of bets you're placing, right? If you want to turn 12.5K, you could, but you'd have to place 277 bets a day of $100 each. Or you can increase the edges you're betting at, so you can find more profitable bets on OddsJam. So we place this bet at a 1.53% profit margin. Bet on the ones that are better. This 3.83% profit margin makes it a lot easier to make money, right? If you're betting at 3.83, 4% profit margins on average, you have to place a lot less bets. Or you can increase your unit size, right? If you're placing a $200 bet with a 4% profit margin, you're getting double the profit margin in dollars as an $100 bet with a 4% profit margin. Another way to think about it. So always look for spots with value, bets that have a mathematical edge. Let's make some money today. Here was the over 22.5 that I bet. I like that play a lot. So hopefully you enjoyed this video, and let's make some money.